Good evening, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in and welcome to Blaugranagram TV. Here with me, I have Joav Pedraza, and we're commentating on Saint-Germain against Barcelona. Joav, how are you doing?
Hi, Omar. Thanks. Very good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good. Obviously, for a lot of Barcelona fans and for a lot of neutrals, this game will, without a doubt, be a very exciting one, very fiery encounter ahead. And of course, as a little warm up to the game, we'll be looking at the lineups from both teams. So, for Barcelona, they've got Marc-Andre ter Stegen between the sticks. They seem to be deploying, at least Ronald Koeman and his side seem to be playing a 3-5-2 of sorts. Serginho Dest and Jordi Alba out wide. Oscar Mingueza, Clement Lenglet, and Frenkie de Jong playing in defense. Sergio Busquets and Pedri partnering up in midfield. Ousmane Dembele, Leo Messi, and Antoine Griezmann leading the front line for the Catalans. For Paris Saint-Germain, Keylor Navas in goal, Alessandro Florenzi, Marquinhos, Presnel Kimpembe, and Levan Kurzawa start in defense. Leandro Paredes, Idrissa Gana Gueye, and Marco Verratti in midfield. Julian Draxler makes his return, Kylian Mbappe, and Mauro Icardi. A very interesting attack right there from the French capital. What do you think, Joao? What do you think of this Barcelona lineup?
Yeah, I think we have to really look out to see at the end how they actually play. Because, I mean, at first glance, you think that De Jong is going to be like the third center back alongside with Lenglet
Lenglet.
and Mingueza. But we'll have to see. And also, let's see how Busquets fares at that midfield with that's all that speed that PSG showed, at least at the first leg. And also, let's
For
hope
sure.
Griezmann can really do what he hasn't been doing that much in Barcelona. But let's hope he can actually do that tonight.
For sure, it's as you said, it's a game that without a doubt will test Sergio Busquets. And for our dear audience here that watched the first fixture, of course, a 4-1 defeat for the Catalans. Kylian Mbappe with a hat trick, Moise Kean with a cherry on top. Barcelona's goal came from Leo Messi on a penalty, and you looked at that game, and in the first half, Barcelona seemed to have somewhat of a grasp on the game. The second half, of course, by Saint-Germain switched on and proved their worth. And I think for a lot of Barcelona fans, at least, we're talking about Sergio Busquets' lack of pace and him aging, and that, of course, being an important factor. For Barcelona, of course, we've seen a lot of players filling in that midfield. We've seen Ilaix Moriba recently playing a more prominent role in midfield. We've seen Miralem Pjanic filling in from time to time. Of course, another player that hasn't seen too much playing time and has voiced his of course, him being unsatisfied, not happy with that, of course. So when you think about that, for me at least, looking at it from given how Busquets has been playing, I don't think that would be the right choice against a midfield like this.
No, actually, I think one of the biggest virtues of the change in system of Koeman to that five in midfield, it was actually that Busquets was actually really comfortable not having to cover that much ground because De Jong was covering ground forward. Pedri recovering a lot of balls in the midfield against Sevilla. And I think that really helped Busquets because he could just remain a little bit more static and not having to make those runs. But we'll
This is
have
very
to
true.
see today against one of the fastest players in recent history, or at least modern times, with Mbappe. And well, let's hope also Mingueza can do a really good job covering him because that's one of his biggest challenges today, having as a Barcelona player.
For sure, it's gonna be a very interesting encounter, and of course, a player that definitely showed Barcelona's midfield how to play in midfield was Leandro Paredes last time out. Of course, Marco Verratti, another player that was absolutely mesmerizing to watch, and those will be key players for Barcelona to shut down. And of course, given the scoreline last time out, it could be argued that a 3-5-2 maybe does not bring the highest amount of defensive stability. But again, it is a lineup that seems to work for Barcelona now. At least they showed it against Sevilla, and I do think Barcelona stand a chance here, despite the scoreline. And of course, our audience here, feel free to chime in with your opinions and your thoughts ahead of this game and during the game. We'll be answering and reacting to your questions and your opinions. So feel free to drop them down below. And if you are enjoying this so far, don't forget to subscribe, follow, and or like, depending on the platform that you're watching this from. Now, with that being said, the game is more or less about to be underway here. Of course, The game is being played in the French capital. This is the return fixture, and Barcelona are ready to kick off here with Leo Messi, tonight's captain for the Catalans, ready to kick off. Joav, what do you expect from Barcelona here going into this? Do you think they'll try and go all in, so to say, from the start? Or do you think it'll be more of a cagey affair in the first half?
I think Barcelona really has to go all in, at least at the first 5 minutes, and try to get something out of the first minutes, especially since Paris will sort of be stiff. A few players will be nervous or whatnot. So I think Barcelona really has to pressure them these first 5-10 minutes. But
For
we'll
sure.
have to see. We'll have to see what at the end Koeman told his players, and I think it will be a cagey affair, especially as time goes by. And if Barcelona scores a goal, maybe PSG gets a little bit more nervous. It will really depend on what Barcelona proposes, because at the end of the day, the court is in their the ball is in their court at the end of the day. So we have to see.
For sure. It is one of those games where it really is Barcelona that have to take the initiative and show what they're able to do here against a team like by Saint-Germain. Of course, as we say that the game is underway, and it does seem like a three-man defense of Frenkie de Jong, Clement Lenglet, and Oscar Mingueza. As Lenglet there with a lax pass rather, falls down here. Busquets now on the ball to Dest, and the fullback gets taken down by Levan Kurzawa. Not a foul, just a talking to by tonight's referee. And it is a very it is going to be one of those games where I think it will be quite a fiery encounter from both sides. Of course, Barcelona with everything to play for. Paris Saint-Germain, from a result point of view, would be happy with just a draw here. Griezmann on the ball on the edge of the box looking for options. Dembele made the run, but he got picked up. Now here's Icardi looking to get a quick counter-attack going. Couldn't quite find his teammate. Now Pedri on the ball. PSG was instant pressure as soon as they lose possession here. Of course, under Mauricio Pochettino, the former Spurs manager, a new sort of style, somewhat rejuvenated by Saint-Germain's side. Of course, they have been struggling somewhat in Ligue 1, but in the Champions League, they haven't been letting go, have they, Joao?
No, actually, they did a stunning performance, like basically at the second half of their table against Manchester United and those kind of opponents. But also, let's remember that this Paris Saint-Germain actually lost to Monaco 2-0 after beating Barca. So we have to see how much of that kind of Paris we can see tonight.
For sure, and as we say that, actually Kylian Mbappe was on the attack there, found Verratti on the overlap. The latter tried to cross. It was blocked by Oscar Mingueza, and here merely 2 minutes in, Paris Saint-Germain with a corner. We'll have to see what happens from this. Of course, last time they had a similar situation against Barcelona, they managed to score from it on a loose ball. We'll have to see if that is the case here as Draxler takes it on. Marquinhos with a header goes up and high, and it's out for a goal kick. Two and a half minutes in, almost 3 minutes in. It's been you look at it, the teams are definitely not going to just sit back, are they?
No, actually, we have to keep in mind that Alba has been a critical point of Barcelona in the last few games, scoring absolute stunners against Sevilla.
Definitely has.
So they have, well, I think at least Pochettino has told his men from that side that they have to keep an eye on Alba because he really has become a threat. And Dest has been slowly picking up pace, slowly getting used to playing at Barcelona. I think he's doing a better job now than the first few games coming after injury, obviously. But we'll have to see how he fares tonight against Mbappe once again.
For sure. And speaking of Mbappe and Dest, another man to add to that, what now is a triangle, in Oscar Mingueza, who's, of course, been the man covering him so far and marking him. And he's actually ended up fouling him here 3 minutes in. Paris Saint-Germain with a free kick from the very close to the sidelines on the left-hand side to the right of Ter Stegen. You're going to be taken here by Julian Draxler, the former Schalke man. And he will, without a doubt, be looking for an in-swinger here. But I think as you said, Alba has been key. And I think another thing as well to remember is that Messi, of course, was more or less kept quiet last time out and had to do an awful lot to be able to somewhat have an influence on the game, and that's something Paris Saint-Germain will, of course, be looking to continue with. And as we say that here, Dembele on the ball brilliantly gets past Kurzawa on the left-hand side, looked for a cross, faked it, went backwards, found Messi on the edge, looked for the shot, tried it, blocked by Marquinhos. He's going to go out for a throw-in for Barcelona. They're really putting it on now, Barcelona, not letting Paris Saint-Germain do too much without responding.
Yeah, no, actually, that's the kind of play that they want to look for Dembele. Space at the back of the defenders, give him that space for his speed and explosiveness that characterizes a Frenchman. So let's see if he can really connect with Griezmann and Messi to give more perspective to that attack.
For sure. Messi, of course, here dropped back behind Busquets, finds the ladder. Now, Dest on the right-hand side here gets it from Griezmann. Busquets again, faked it, went out wide towards Alba. It's headed away, but Florenzi right into the hands of Keylor Navas. Alba couldn't get to the scraps. Now a long ball through towards Kylian Mbappe. De Jong picks that one up. And now out wide to Dest. Barcelona can attack. Dest faced by Verratti, gets past him with ease. Got support inside. Now faced by Kurzawa, gets past him as well. Brilliantly looks for the cross. Finds Dembele on the edge of the box. Out for Messi. Left hand finds Alba. Tries a cross there. It seemed like a cross or a shot. Couldn't quite make it happen. But they keep possession here, the Catalans. Really putting pressure on. Pedri brilliantly looks to find Dest with a brilliant chip ball there. Couldn't quite make it happen as Kurzawa was prepared for that one. Heads it out. And it is going to be a corner for Barcelona. The first one of the game. For them, that's the second corner so far, if I'm not mistaken. And we're only 6 minutes in.
Yeah, these are the moments that really Barca have to capitalize on. I mean, first few minutes, a little bit of nerves from part of the defense, uncertainty from Kurzawa. So let's see. For sure.
And as we say that there, Messi with a cross, it hit Busquets, who was looming at the near post, but couldn't quite direct his header. And País now playing it from the back, and Navas forced to clear it out of play. Throw-in for Barcelona. Now Dest looking for options. Got Messi and Busquets with him. Opts for the latter. Busquets to Messi on the right-hand side. Now back to Mingueza. Looking to calm the play down a bit in Barcelona and retain control here. Long lane out to Alba on the left. Immediately pressed. Looked for Griezmann. Found him. Busquets now for Dembele in a bit of space. Looked to get through Kurzawa. It is going to be a foul, and it is going to be a yellow card for Levan Kurzawa. Dembele fouled on the edge of the box. A free kick in Messi territory, of course. We're interested to see if he can capitalize on this one here. And there could be a bit of a claim for offside, not one appealed by the Paris Saint-Germain players. And the replay seems like he was just on, maybe. But the referee has given the foul nonetheless. And it will be interesting to see if Messi can score from this one. He has done that previously, of course. But as of late, when you do score so many free kicks so many times, it gets easier to predict where those are going to go. But it's not always they can stop them.
I think it's right up his lane with the right angle, with the right distance. But let's see, as you said, Messi has become somewhat of a specialist. So teams now go through many, many loops to try to prevent any goal from free kicks.
For sure. And 23 meters away from the goal here, Lionel Messi looking to take this free kick. Of course, has scored against Navas in the past when he played for Real Madrid. Messi takes it here, and it goes over the bar. Doesn't trouble the former Real Madrid man too much, but scared him a bit, if anything. Maybe a bit of a wake-up call for Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, here for Barcelona today, looking to continue their streak of good games and fine form. Last time out was against Sevilla, of course, in the Copa del Rey. And showed a lot of willpower and a lot of fighting spirit in that team for Barcelona. What do you make of that, Joav? Do you think they can bring that here today? Or do you think they brought it already?
I think if they've really brought it on right now, at least 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes of PSG not doing really anything till the moment. Let's hope that it stays that way. But well, you have to recall there have been at least 3 comebacks this season, all of them in Copa del Rey. Well, let's keep that in mind. But
Yeah,
2-1 against Rayo Vallecano in Copa del Rey, the famous 5-3 against Granada, and the
very
most
true.
recent one, the 3-2 against Sevilla, also in Copa del Rey. So I think this Koeman team has really brought on the comebacks back to Barcelona, and
And of course,
let's hope it goes that way as well tonight.
another comeback, the comeback of the former, now current president of FC Barcelona, Juan Laporta, after a somewhat of a landslide victory, but a historical presidential election, of course, with the some of the votes being sent through mail, actually over 20,000 of them. Dembele with a shot as he got the ball through, caught the Saint-Germain defense off guard. Alba with a brilliant ball, and he's found him. That's the second time Dembele looked to control it with his head and then hit it on the volley. Couldn't quite get the power he was hoping for. Was on target, but not enough to trouble Keylor Navas. Saint-Germain clearly under a lot of pressure here. Can't quite do too much with the ball, trying to go for the long passes. And Oscar Mingueza has been all over them when they've come there. Here's Messi on the right, finds Dest. Back to the Argentine. Dest again. Messi goes for a run. Dest goes backwards to Busquets. Inside for Pedri. Met by Gay. And that one is picked away from him. Here's Icardi. Now Marco Verratti on the left-hand side. Kurzawa looks to press. Messi pressed him. Dest looked to find Griezmann, couldn't quite find him. And again, of course, another talking point is Antoine Griezmann, who he's begun to find good form, but not quite that of a top number 9, some would argue, which in theory, he's never really been a number 9 per se. So with that in mind, is he beginning to somewhat have his redemption arc, so to say, for Barcelona, do you think? Or is there still a long way to go?
I think there's still some way to go. Let's remember that actually the comeback against Sevilla was against Sevilla was thanks to him at the first. But I think he still has to show a lot of what he showed against Atletico. And I'll leave you to this play that actually looks like a good build-up.
As you say that here, Barcelona, of course, very beautiful build-up. Busquets, Dest, and Messi all involved. Messi looked for a shot. It got blocked. Then the rebound got blocked again, and he got somewhat fouled. He tripped over. The referee said, play on. Paris Saint-Germain on the attack. Couldn't quite make something from the first. And here's the second one, though. Icardi tries to backheel for Draxler. Couldn't quite find him. Pedri picks it up. It's gone away now. Alba to Griezmann. Found the Frenchman again. Got Dembele on the left-hand side. Finds his compatriot. Now 1-on-1 against Presnel Kimpembe. Drifts away from him. Tries the shot and skies it. Goes wide. And not a bad attempt from the Frenchman. Didn't have too many options there. Of course, faced by Presnel Kimpembe, who himself is quite fast and a quite clever defender. But those kind of breaks are the ones Barcelona are looking for. Don't you think?
Yeah. These are exactly the kind of plays that Dembele thrives on, or should thrive on more at Barcelona. And also, let's keep in mind that both Marquinhos and Kimpembe are very physical, very, very physical defenders. Nevertheless, their speed is nothing compared to Dembele. So he should continue to make these kind of runs through the defense, looking for long balls, the counters. So we should see, because he could be the main man for the attack of Barcelona. Messi serving the balls, but Dembele finishing those good runs.
I think I'm having to agree with you on that one, because I think that Griezmann's role in this game won't be having to ping it home as much as it will be to create space for players like Ousmane Dembele, who thrives in space and thrives on having these quick breaks. And as we see that Alessandro Florenzi urging his team to calm the play down a bit and not look to rush forward, which they have been doing. Barcelona have been putting them under a lot of pressure, and so far, 13 minutes in, close to 14, it still is 0-0. If you've just tuned in, just take a quick recap of the starting lineups for both sides. Of course, for Barcelona, Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal, Oscar Mingueza, Frenkie de Jong, and Clement Lenglet in a 3-man back line. Dest and Alba out wide. Pedri and Busquets in midfield, Dembele, Leo Messi, and Antoine Griezmann up front. As far as Paris Saint-Germain goes, Keylor Navas in goal, Florenzi, Marquinhos, Presnel Kimpembe, and Levan Kurzawa in defense, Leandro Paredes and Idrissa Gana Gueye, as well as Marco Verratti in midfield, Julian Draxler, Mauro Icardi, and Kylian Mbappe up front. Of course, a lot of prominent names for both sides on their respective benches. For Paris Saint-Germain, the former Barcelona man, Rafinha, Angel Di Maria, who's recently returned from injury, Thilo Kehrer, of course, another very solid defender, and a lot of youngsters on that bench as well. For Barcelona, names like Miralem Pjanic, Riqui Puig, Ilaish Moriba, who's recently had his rise to fame. And definitely a lot of cards on the table for Barcelona, and we'll have to see if they make use of them or if the starting lineup is enough. As we say that here, Paris Saint-Germain looking to make a quick break here. Kylian Mbappe receives it on the left-hand side. Got a lot of green space in front of him. Busquets just about stops him. Mingueza sent away, and the cross sails over everyone right into Jordi Alba's feet. And the defender now calms down the play for Barcelona, looking to control tempo and gain control of the game again. As Frenkie de Jong pushes up here, finds Dest on the right. Busquets and Barcelona now more or less back in control 15 minutes in. They've been the ones with the keys to the car. Let's see if they can drive it home. Alba here with another long ball for Dembele, blocked away by Kimpembe. And Paris now under pressure again. Florenzi tries a give and go with Draxler, but the German is forced backwards. And Paris now playing ping pong football in midfield. Mbappe on the left-hand side in a lot of space, found by Verratti. Faced by Mingueza, goes for the shot. Ter Stegen not troubled. Saves that one easily. So, of course, both teams have had their shots. Both teams have had their chances. But for the most part, Barcelona have looked in control, which is a good sign. But, again, they've done that before in previous games where they have had a lot of the ball but haven't been able to convert their chances. Do you think we'll see that today, or do you think they'll be more clinical?
I think we can see a more clinical Barca because the players know what's at stake right here. I mean, if they go down without even scoring one goal, it will be a humiliation in the eyes of many. So I think it will be more clinical. Dembele has to be really more clinical than he showed in the last shot. And I'll leave it to this play. For sure. And as we saw, Alba and Pedri combining, trying to make something happen. They do get a corner. Of course, at the Parc des Princes, where the game is being played in the French capital, Paris, former Barcelona man Neymar and former Bayern man Juan Bernat, the left back for Paris Saint-Germain, both players out. And that almost got in by Oscar Mingueza. A cross was sent in by Alba from the corner, and Oscar Mingueza tried to head it in, but it seemed like it was actually deflected off of, I believe, Presnel Kimpembe, and Messi with the corner here looks for the in-swinger, and it sails over the heads of his teammates. Clement Lenglet falls down, but the referee says, play on. And it just Clement Lenglet just about got his head to it. Couldn't quite get the control on it, though. Alba now under a bit of pressure, but Lenglet down the line. Here's Pedri inside. Looked for the Hollywood ball, but opted for Messi instead. Dembele through. Can he finish this one? He took a shot. It wasn't a bad one, but Keylor Navas equal to it. And to be fair to the Frenchman there, he was under pressure, but he will be kicking himself for not scoring that one. He has had quite a few chances now, but you can't help but think that surely one of them has to end up in the back of the net. As there, Paris on the counter here. Here's Marco Verratti actually. Looked for Draxler far side, picked up by Lenglet easily. And Clement Lenglet, another name that's been thrown in the mix a lot recently. Of course, he's been under a bit of scrutiny for his lack of form. But given Barcelona's lack of options, really, there aren't many other options than Clement Lenglet in defense, are there? No. If you should decide to bench Lenglet, you would have to stick with Umtiti, who has also not been in any good form recently, especially after his really long injury period. and not really gaining that form that made him such an iconic defender, at least under Valverde. So yeah,
That is
it
a
would
very
have to
good
be
point.
that or a youngster, which would also
And
not be the very best decision right now due to the stakes that you face in the Champions League.
very true, very true. And speaking of the stakes here, Barcelona not letting up. Dest now for Griezmann on the right-hand side. Looked for a pass in. Now it lanes out for Busquets on the edge of the box. Finds Alba. Lays it off for Longley. Pings it through, or pings it diagonally towards Griezmann. Mbappe looked to catch that one, but Mingueza said no. Now here's Dest. Here's Busquets now. Griezmann through to Dest on the right-hand side, faced by Kurzawa. Now Busquets back out wide. Here's Griezmann, looks for the cross. Kurzawa heads it out, but not far out enough. Busquets with another one. Towards the left-hand side, Alba. Florenzi heads that one out, and Barcelona going again. As we look here, we, of course, have some comments in the chat here. See, Match the Wall, of course, one of our editors at Blaugranagram, Ridi, says, Buena suerte, chicos. Thank you very much.
Shout out to Ridi. Thank you very much for the support.
And thank you, everyone that's tuned in so far for the support. It is much appreciated, and we do this for every single match day. If you're tuning in now and you are doing some work or you're having something that is preventing you from watching the match or watching the stream, of course, do remember, if you want to keep up with the match, we do have live commentary over on our website, blaugranagram.com, so do check that out. It is, of course, completely free, and any support is, of course, very much appreciated. Charlie Barca says, we're more in control of this game than PSG, of course, referring to Barcelona here. Says Griezmann close with regards to an earlier chance. Now Dembele goes close. One of the last chance from Dembele, actually. So here Messi with a pass through for Alba. Look for the cross towards Dembele, but Marquinhos forced to clear it out of play. And Barcelona looking confident here. And we'll have to see if that continues. Avikan Rahimi on Facebook says, nice. Charlie Barca says, PSG sitting deep. And Valeria says, I love your articles. Thank you. Thank you very much. We're very happy to hear that, of course. And again, thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you very much, Vale.
That does mean a lot. And we'll have to see, hopefully, the good vibes and the positive attitude from everyone in our chat here. Hopefully we'll see that on the pitch for Barcelona, of course. Hopefully we'll see a good game. As it has been so far. It hasn't been a game filled with tackles and challenges with malicious intent. It's been quite a clean game. Two teams trying to just play football. Of course, quality is there on paper and on the field for both sides. And for Barcelona, as you were saying earlier, Joav, it is very, very important that they get at least a goal early on. As we say that here, 22 minutes in, Pat playing it around the back here, Barcelona. Griezmann in for Busquets, pings a long ball for Dest. On the right-hand side, looks for Dembele, faced by Kurzawa, skips past him, goes for the shot, and has hit the crossbar. And it goes up for a throw-in. Barcelona, very, very unlucky. And Saint-Germain with a sigh of relief. Alba looked to 1-2 there with Pedri, but it was blocked off by Gay. Throw-in again. Now for Dembele. Back for Mingueza. Here's Busquets. Now Dest. Has Messi with him. Busquets on the overlap. Now that's an unusual one. The latter gets to the ball. Goes back to Dest. Dest cuts inside. Finds Messi on the edge. Faced by Draxler. Skips past him. 1-2s it with Dembele, but can't quite get the return. It's cleared by Paris Saint-Germain only as far as Clement Longley. De Jong on the ball here. Now Mingueza. Pedri dropped very, very deep. Long ball brilliantly to Dembele. He's got Messi far side. Goes for Messi, and the Argentine just misses it. And Kurzawa picks that one up. No, he doesn't. Dest does. Busquets now for Pedri. Bit of a lax ball, but it gets to him nonetheless. Swings it out wide for Alba. Brilliant ball for Messi. Overhead kick, and ran into the hands of Keylor Navas. That was quite the attack from Barcelona, wasn't it?
Slowly, but The walls are closing in for PSG. If they don't show something right now, Barca could score one goal. It could actually have scored 1 or 2 goals already. But we'll have to see if Messi and Dembele actually are able to connect better. This could be a really interesting game. And I think actually Navas had a hand in the shot of Dest. I don't know if you saw that.
I think he
also.
did just tip it over to the crossbar. He did, yeah.
We have to remember. Sorry.
No, go on.
We have to remember that Navas saved Real Madrid for years in the Champions League and has also done the same for Paris Saint-Germain already in the just couple of years that he's been there. So he's also a very important player for Paris in these critical moments.
Definitely has. And as you say that, actually, with regards to the shots and possession, Barcelona with 76% of possession and 10 shots to Paris 3. From Barcelona, only 4 shots on target. By Saint-Germain, only 1. And that one trickled right into the hands of Marc-Andre ter Stegen. So Barcelona very much in control, both on the eye test and also on the stat sheet. As Oscar Mingueza there held Kylian Mbappe back a bit too much, says today's referee, and it will be a yellow card for the youngster. But of course, very much had a very good rise to fame. And Mingueza there just tugged on his shirt, maybe a bit too much around the neck area. It's going to be a yellow card for the youngster.
Mbappe even saying that he broke his shirt.
It is, you look at it, and he does have an argument. It's tough to say he doesn't.
Yeah, but also Mingueza has that speed that some attackers don't expect. But after all, he is going against one of the best. But he has been very physical, and he hasn't let Mbappe really do anything rather than that shot that you said that trickled into ter Stegen's hand. And right now, another foul.
Yes, I was about to say, speaking of Mbappe, another foul there. This time by Antoine Griezmann at first, or tried to. Then Mbappe fouled again by Mingueza. And the latter telling the ref that he didn't really do anything. Referee agreed enough to not give him another yellow. Of course, he already is on a yellow card from merely moments ago. And a through ball there is sent through here by Saint-Germain towards Julian Draxler. Oscar Mingueza sees himself forced to clear it out for a corner. And testing times for Barcelona. But by Saint-Germain have been under a lot of pressure so far, 26 minutes in. We're interesting to see if Barcelona can continue that, or if Paris Saint-Germain will strike and perhaps kill off the Catalans' hopes of advancing to the quarterfinals here of the Champions League tonight. Corner here taken, and Alba, of all people, clears it. Almost landed by Ousmane Dembele, but couldn't quite get there. Now Verratti's dropped deep, and somewhat of a 3-man back line, it seems. Led by Griezmann, goes inside to Leandro Paredes, who's been kept very quiet this game so far, as opposed to last game. Here's Draxler driving forward, might go for the shot, goes for Kurzawa on the left with a cross, and ter Stegen picks that one up. Icardi couldn't quite get to it. Ter Stegen did. Of course, Kurzawa they're trying a low-driven cross, and aim just a bit off. Ter Stegen, of course, has had some blunders recently, but he has slowly made his return back to form. As we say that Mauro Icardi down, looked like an altercation between him and a Barcelona defender, although not with malicious intent, because it was he actually tripped over, as we can see on the replay, in a foot race with Clement Lenglet. But seems like he is slowly making his way back up. But will he be able to continue? He's trying to get his cleats fixed. We'll have to see if he can stay on. Of course, some options for Paris Saint-Germain on the bench. Moise Kean, of course, not available today due to a positive COVID-19 test. And actually, as we say that now, there is a VAR review. There's an ongoing VAR review for a potential penalty. Although, looking at it on the replay, I would be very surprised if that was given. What do you think, Joav?
Yeah, no malicious intent, as you said. But nevertheless, it is contact inside. I wouldn't say that it's penalty because Lenglet doesn't even look the way that Icardi is running. Nevertheless,
That's
he is
true.
attacking and he does trip down. Also, he doesn't
He
even look
has.
like he's going to get to go
He
to the.
actually has given it. He has given the penalty, and he has given Clement Longley a yellow card. And Barcelona will definitely be. That's a harsh one, if you ask me. That's a very, very harsh one.
Yes, he isn't even he isn't even involved with the play. He's just running towards the ball, but their thing clearly has it in his control.
We'll have to
Nevertheless, it
see.
is a penalty against
And
Barcelona, and should this go in,
Kylian Mbappe here to take it against Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Let's see what happens here. Referee having a talking to with ter Stegen, telling him to not cross the line, or there will be a retake, of course, and potentially a concrete warning. Ref has blown the whistle. Mbappe takes it left-hand side, blasted into the back of the net. That is by Saint-Germain 1, Barcelona 0. By Saint-Germain with a 5-1 lead on aggregate. Barcelona now need 4 goals to make it at least somewhat of a possibility of them going through. I will be honest, I don't think that was a penalty.
No, don't think so. Lenglet doesn't even have the intention or looking towards Icardi. He doesn't, as I said, he doesn't participate in the play. He's just running through. Even with the VAR, I don't know what the refs saw right there, but well, bad luck for Barcelona. And as you said, Barca right now need 4 goals to at least send it to overtime. So we'll see what
do, and
what
it is a very dubious, for sure, and it is a very, very dubious penalty call there. But nonetheless, 31 minutes in, Paris Saint-Germain with a 1-0 lead and a 5-1 lead on aggregate. Of course, as we said, if Barcelona managed to score 4 here, they might get there first as Alba sends Dembele through. Gets past Presnel Kimpembe, fake shots. They couldn't quite get the shot, though. Here's Griezmann picks it up, finds Dest. Barcelona, you can feel, are a bit shook after that penalty now. But Oscar Mingueza tracks all the way back to stop Mbappe. Now here's Pedri. Longley on the left. Now Alba. Again, as we were saying, of course, the first game was a 4-1 win for Paris Saint-Germain. If Barcelona managed to score 4 here and not let any further goals through, this game will go to extra time and potentially penalties. So it's not quite over yet, and they will, at least for them, hopefully be hearing the words of Luis Enrique back then. If they can score 5 goals, we can score 6. And, of course, that is what happened back then in 2017 with the famous remontada, and they will be looking to repeat that today. For Barcelona, of course, this game so far, they have been in control. I don't think there's a doubt about that, even on the stat sheet. But looking at the scoreline, Paris Saint-Germain ahead on a penalty by Kylian Mbappe 31 minutes in.
Yeah, Barcelona really have to keep doing what they were doing before the well, as you said, dubious penalty. They have to keep that same mentality because at the end of the day, you score 1, a few more can come down.
For sure. And you look at Barcelona's team on paper, there's really no reason why those 4 goals should not be possible, and even 5. Because, again, Paris Saint-Germain have not been in the finest form as of late. I mean, of course, if you look back at their Barcelona's encounter with Bayern Munich, the famous 8-2, the situation was very different back then. Of course, Bayern Munich pretty much steamrolling every team they faced at the time, and Barcelona just another one on the road. Whereas for Paris Saint-Germain, they have been struggling in Ligue 1. They have been struggling against teams like Nice and less prominent teams in the French league. And we'll have to see if Barcelona can make their return here. Alba trips over Verratti, but that one is not called, which is very interesting.
Verratti doesn't even ask for a penalty. He knows that he just slipped. We have to remember that it is raining or has been raining in Paris since the beginning of the game. So we will see some players be slipping.
Very true. And, of course, that maybe could have contributed to the penalty. But, of course, for Barcelona, they will have to not dwell on that too much and keep playing the way they were playing because, again, they were in control. Here's Messi on the left-hand side. Here finds Alba. Back to the Argentine. Paredes somewhat clears it. Lands for Icardi. Here's Griezmann on the left-hand side. Brilliant ball for Dembele, and right into the hands of Keylor Navas. And again, a lot of chances and a lot of them wasted.
Yeah, also we have to remember Barcelona don't have really that striker or killer that Luis Suarez was for so many years right now. We have Dembele that's really good in spaces, but sometimes lacks shooting lacks a good shooting technique. And Junior is coming on right now. Wow.
Yes, indeed he is. Junior Firpo coming on for Oscar Mingueza. Of course, Mingueza has had a very, very good game so far for the Catalans, even on the stat sheet. But he is on a yellow card, and perhaps this substitution is a signal of intent from Koeman and a signal of we're not just going to give up. There is actually still some time to go, and this could go to extra time. We don't want to risk a red card in the late minutes. And the earlier substitutions is something that a lot of Barcelona managers have been under scrutiny for in the past, even Ronald Koeman himself. But contrary to his predecessors, he actually has been making some more proactive substitutions. I have to see what happens here. 69% possession for Barcelona. 35 minutes in, Junior Firpo has just come on. Here's Messi driving forward brilliantly. And again, finds Griezmann now behind him. Here's Pedri. Finds Alba on the left. Alba skips past one. Griezmann with a shot through a header, and it lands in the hands of Keylor Navas. Brilliant cross by Alba with his weak foot. And as you said, he's been a key player for Barcelona this season, especially as of late. And definitely not one to mess around with. Here's Firpo and Ter Stegen playing keep ball, maybe in a bit of a dangerous position. Finds De Jong on the left.
As it looks right now, it looks like Firpo just fit in right to where Mingueza left off.
Yes, it does. And as I said here, Dembele on the left-hand side for Alba. Now back for Pedri. Dest in space on the right-hand side. Messi in the middle, though. Picks it up. Goes for a long shot. And it's a goal! And it's a banger from Lionel Messi. What a goal from the Argentine to bring hope back to the Barcelona side here that has been struggling. What a finish. What a finish. Right in the top left corner. And that one is not going to be stopped by Keylor Navas. What do you think of that one, Joav?
Absolute stunner. I think nobody expected that, especially Navas, as we can see in the replay. He tried to do something, but the time was just on him, and the power of the shot was impressive. Let's see if Barcelona can keep this going.
And, of course, Barcelona will have a talking point here as Lionel Messi was trying to find Serginho Dest on the right-hand side. Keylor Navas got to the ball, but not before basically getting into an altercation, somewhat of a shoulder barge with Dest. The Catalans claimed that was illegal, but the referee says play on. They will claim that was a penalty. The referee disagrees, and they are currently discussing something here. Frenkie de Jong, a yellow card for complaining, so to speak. And Serginho Dest still down. Before by Saint-Germain, a player also down from that, from the succeeding clearance there. As we see that again, of course, there could be an argument that one should have been a penalty for Barcelona, and the following sequence, as Paris Saint-Germain tried to clear play, Junior Firpo put a little bit too much pressure on Kylian Mbappe, if you want to put it lightly, and Mbappe had enough. Tried to shove him, but fell to the ground himself. No yellow cards for that altercation, though.
No, we have to remember that actually the referee right now is Anthony Taylor, an Englishman. And as we know, the English really like to play a little bit more physical than the French league or the Spanish league. So we have to keep that in mind. in terms of yellow cards and what is a foul for some teams and what isn't for another.
They definitely are a bit rough around the edges, the English referees, and that definitely has come to the fore here today. Of course, the penalty call that gave by Saint-Germain the lead through Kylian Mbappe in the 31st minute. Here 2 minutes ago in the 37th, 38th, Barcelona had somewhat of a claim for a penalty on Serginho Dest that was not given, as Keylor Navas was maybe did a bit too much to get to the ball. And Barcelona playing on here. Alba down the line for Antoine Griezmann. Stops when he faces Gana Gay. Now inside for Pedri. Brilliantly skips past Paredes. Looks for Dembele. Marquinhos blocks him off. And Navas picks that one up. 39 minutes in as we edge closer and closer to halftime. It is 1-1 in Paris and 5-2 on aggregate for the French side. And Dembele telling the referee that it's the third and the fourth time that Paris Saint-Germain have gotten away with tackles and challenges that should be fouls in the eyes of the neutral. Referee unfazed by the Frenchman's comments. Youssa Gana Gay now. Paris they're forced back to their own half. Virtually pinned back here, but they try to create something and stopped immediately by Serginho Dest. Here's Busquets on the right-hand side. Met by Verratti, finds Pedri. Now Barcelona really trying to play in tight spaces, and they are given a foul 40 minutes in, halfway through that minute actually, close to the 41st. And now Busquets to claim on long lay. Barcelona trying to build one attack and score another one before halftime, which would take this to 5-3 on aggregate, meaning they'd only need two more to get into extra time. And given how they have been playing, you really wouldn't rule that out, would you, Joav?
No, I wouldn't at all. As I said, you only need one goal to start with a comeback. So one goal at a time, one play at a time. That's all Barcelona really needs. They need good build-ups or another exceptional shot like the one we saw from Messi. But nothing is impossible at the end of the day.
As we say that here, Messi on the ball on the right-hand side finds Dembele in a pocket of space. The Frenchman met by Kurzawa for Busquets with a shot. Blocked by Keylor Navas. Punched out to Kylian Mbappe, who had tracked back. Looked to find Icardi. Now looking to build something here. Through ball from Verratti, I believe, to Kylian Mbappe. 1-1 against Frenkie de Jong. Goes for the shot. Falls down. Referee says, play on. And Marc-Andre ter Stegen grabbed that one with ease.
I have been surprised at how well de Jong has played right now. We have to remember he isn't a defender by nature. He's a midfielder that really likes to go forward, but he hasn't been that troubled.
He has not. He definitely hasn't. And you have to remember as well at his former club, of course, Ajax Amsterdam. He did have some games for quite a while playing as a center back, and did very well there as well. So it's not a position he's not used to as much as it's one that he would probably rather not play, considering how influential he can be in midfield. Here's Busquets now out wide, finds Serginho Dest, met by Kurzawa, skips past him again, crosses it in towards Dembele. Paredes stopped that one in its tracks. Here's Draxler looking to create something, finds Icardi. His pass on is blocked by Frenkie de Jong and picked up by Griezmann. And that is going to be a foul. Again, a player that's caused, or two players that have caused Paris Saint-Germain a lot of trouble when it comes to the challenge department, of course, have been Pedri and Lionel Messi so far. And
it's really interesting to see, Omar. Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
It's really interesting to see how the attack of Paris Saint-Germain, when Mbappe isn't involved, it dies out really quickly. It looks like Draxler and Icardi can't really link up if Mbappe isn't in the mixture. I'll leave you.
As we say that here, Messi, Alba, and Griezmann combining. Pedri on the edge of the box looked for Messi with a brilliant through ball. Couldn't quite find him. Mbappe tracked back, looking to create something. Here's Icardi, brilliant back heel to Gay. Now on the left-hand side finds Draxler. Here's Paredes. Mbappe now on the right-hand side. A lot of real estate for Alessandro Florenzi, but only as far as Jordi Alba. Inside for Mbappe, looking for a through ball towards Icardi. And ter Stegen picks it up. 43 minutes in. And so far, it's 1-1 in France. and it is 5-2 on aggregate. Of course, the goal scored by Kylian Mbappe on a penalty, and Lionel Messi with a long shot stunner to tie things up in Paris. But on aggregate, Paris Saint-Germain still with a resounding 3-goal cushion for the lead. But for Barcelona, they definitely feel it's not over yet. And looking at the numbers, they've definitely been the ones in command and in control. Alba with a cross here, blocked by Florenzi without too much effort. And Alba to take the following throw-in. Back to Longley on the left-hand side. Looked forward, couldn't find anything, so went back to De Jong. Pedri was dropped very deep here. Now Firpo. And that's another thing. Firpo has not had a lot of time in the fullback position, a left back, which is his natural, or a left wing back position, rather. But today he's filling in at right center back for the right side of that central defense with Frenkie de Jong and Clement Lenglet next to him. Do you think that could be a new role for Firpo potentially? Or do you think that it's just a one-off from Ronald Koeman?
I think it's really more of a Koeman thing right now because, as we know, Dest, his strong suit is in defending. And we saw it against Paris in the first leg. But also we have to remember that Sergi Roberto is not available for Barcelona.
That's very true, of course, injured again.
The natural substitute, converted right back. But also, Firpo, I think, isn't really struggling right now because he's facing Draxler.
That is a very good point. And, of course, for Barcelona here, 3 minutes added on. And everything considered, and, of course, we say that here, Kurzawa looked to clear. Griezmann fell down. And will it be a penalty? Seems like it will, as Kurzawa was trying to clear the ball. Let's see if it's a penalty or a free kick. But it definitely, Keylor Navas talking to the referee here, and VAR is reviewing this for a penalty. Of course, this very much could be a lifeline for Barcelona if it is given. And it is currently going to be reviewed by Anthony Taylor, tonight's referee here. As there is, no, the check is over, it seems. We'll have to see if it is called. It is. It has been called, it seems. Messi standing ready on the penalty by the penalty spot. Kylian Mbappe is tripped over in the build-up play with or trying to clear it as he was in an altercation with Clement Lenglet. And it seems like the penalty indeed is given. And it has been given. It's a penalty for Barcelona. 1 minute left of added time. Lionel Messi, of course, last penalty against Paris Saint-Germain was against Keylor Navas, and he did convert it. This one can give them the lead in Paris, and with 2 more goals after this, they will go to extra time. So this one a lifeline, and for Keylor Navas, this one could be the one that kills the hope for Barcelona. Lionel Messi ready to take it. Less than 50 seconds away from the first half ending. Anthony Taylor just telling Keylor Navas to not cross his line. Making sure everything is as it is supposed to be. Blows the whistle for the penalty. Lionel Messi steps up against Keylor Navas, and it's off. It's saved and then off the crossbar. And that one, that is quite something. Look at the penalty again. He saved it with his legs as he was diving, and it hit the crossbar, it seems, on the way out. Quick corner for Barcelona. 10 seconds left. That one could have been the lifeline, but we'll have to see if they can get one again. Seems like something is going on in the box. I have to see what happens. Messi will be kicking himself for that penalty miss. But we'll have to see if Barcelona can come back. Do you think it's still possible, everything considered? Another penalty check. We'll have to see what happens. VAR is reviewing it again. Seems like the check is over, and it will not be a penalty. Cross in by Messi towards Busquets. Couldn't quite get his head on it. Neither could Griezmann at the far post. Draxler on the left-hand side looks to just take a bit too long for the half to be over. And that is it. It's halftime As things stand, Barcelona with a missed chance to take the lead in Paris. Penalty missed by Lionel Messi, or rather, saved heroically by Keylor Navas. Messi perhaps made it a bit too easy to guess for Navas, but scored a stunner of a long shot before that. Kylian Mbappe looking a bit hurt, still feeling his head after that altercation with Clement Lenglet. We'll have to see if he plays the second half or if he's taken off for, of course, many of the prominent names on the bench for Paris Saint-Germain, Angel Di Maria and company. It's halftime. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Barcelona 1, goals by Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi. Joav, anything to say before our brief halftime break?
Well, yeah, maybe a little bit of a compensation by the ref on that penalty. Maybe
Yeah.
someone told him, "Hey, you gave a penalty to Paris. Now it's time for Barcelona." Navas rather, an amazing save on that penalty. But also, as I said before, it's all a mentality right now. If Barca come back strong and score one, it's game on all over again. So we'll have to also see the substitution of that Koeman throws. Maybe he could start thinking of Braithwaite, a more number 9 kind of striker.
Yeah.
We have to see.
Of course, that's going to be very interesting because, as you said, Barcelona have had a lot of chances. Ousmane Dembele has not been able to convert them, but he's definitely been there to make the runs. And for Barcelona, perhaps if they had a number 9, Antoine Griezmann, of course, has been kept quiet when it comes to the attacking department, but has been defending a lot and been trying to create a lot of space for his teammates. But maybe it is time for a number 9 here. 45 minutes to go, minus the potential extra time. And Barcelona definitely do need to switch on here and get 3 goals to make things even again and try and play for advancing in extra time. We'll have to see that is possible. We'll be right back after a brief halftime break where we'll take a look at the stats for the game so far. And again, if you have any questions, opinions, or thoughts regarding the game so far or regarding the second half, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. Of course, if you have liked and enjoyed these live streams, of course, these go on Facebook and Twitter and our YouTube channel, Blaugranagram TV. Feel free to leave a like, comment, leave a like, follow, or subscribe to the relevant platform that you are watching this on. And we'll go for a brief halftime break, and we'll see you afterwards. And we are back. Welcome to once again Blaugranagram TV. If you've just tuned in, we're covering the Paris Saint-Germain Barcelona encounter in the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League. This is the second leg, and as things stand here at halftime, Barcelona have gotten one goal back. Could have gotten a couple more, but as things stand, Paris Saint-Germain won, Barcelona won 5-2 on aggregate. The goals in this game by Kylian Mbappe on a penalty and Lionel Messi with a long-range stunner. Before then, later, Messi seeing his penalty saved heroically by Keylor Navas to keep things in Paris Saint-Germain's favor on the scoreline. But if you look at it from a neutral point of view, the Catalans have been in control. Um, what do you make of it, Joel? Do you think the scoreline reflects the game so far, or do you think they should have been ahead, or do you think the scoreline is a fair one?
No, I think it's not really fair for the Catalans. I mean, you just have to look at the statistics of the game: 69 possession by Barcelona against 31 from Paris Saint-Germain. 12 shots from Barcelona. A lot of them coming from Dembele, who hasn't been that clinical as we would like him to be. And also, well, basically the Catalans have been forward of everything in statistic wise. Also, corner kicks, everything.
Yeah,
Also, Navas much more of a key player right now from Paris than Ter Stegen has been for Barcelona. So I don't think it has been very fair for Barcelona so far.
that's a very good point, and of course, for Barcelona, as you said, a lot of shots, a lot of possession. They will be kicking themselves for not having the lead. Um, we'll have to see if they can recover it. Have to see what happens. It is 5-2 on aggregate, of course, as we mentioned. And so far, Kylian Mbappe, as opposed to the first encounter between the two teams, has been kept very, very quiet. Something Barcelona, of course, will be very, very happy about. We'll have to see if they can do that again in the second half, but not quite enough because he did, of course, score a penalty to give them the lead initially. So, everything considered, of course, 5-2 on aggregate. Do you think the comeback is still on, or do you think it's more or less game over?
No, still on, still 45 minutes. As someone once said, even the last minute has 60 seconds. So we will have to see. Oh, I've been saying it for the first half for those that have just tuned in. It's only a mental game for Barcelona right now. One step at a time, one play at a time, one goal at a time. If they manage to score another goal in the first 5-10 minutes, it's all game on once again. So also we have to take into consideration it's not only Barcelona that have the mental pressure, also Paris. If Paris for some reason starts conceding one or two goals, their legs are going to start to get heavy, their heads are going to start to get hot. So we'll have to also see and check that mental aspect of the players of Paris Saint-Germain.
That is a very good point. And as we say that, the game is about to be kicked underway once more here in the second half in Paris, this time by Saint Germain with the kickoff. And if you have missed it, the lineups have changed just a bit from both sides. For Barcelona, the lineup is the following: Marc-Andre Ter Stegen between the sticks, Junior Firpo, Frenkie de Jong, and Clement Lenglet in defense, Serginho Dest and Alba bombing down the wings, Pedri and Busquets still in midfield, Dembele, Lionel Messi, and Antoine Griezmann up front. Of course, the change being from the first half, where Oscar Mingueza left for Junior Firpo. And as for Paris Saint-Germain, lineup is the following: Keylor Navas in goal, Florenzi, Marquinhos, Kimpembe, and Abdou Diallo, who's replaced Leivan Kurzawa in defense. Leandro Paredes, Idrissa Gana Gueye, and Marco Verratti in midfield. Julian Draxler, Mauro Icardi, and Kylian Mbappe up front. Very interesting lineups from both sides. They've both used a substitution each, and Paris Saint-Germain started the first half ready and tried to get an attack going, and they did, but it was eventually blocked off by the Barcelona defense. Diallo here bringing the fresh legs up against Serginho Dest, faced by Busquets and Dest, gets between the two, finds Mbappe on the left-hand side, now met by four, among them Firpo and Pedri, and Firpo this time clears it out. Looked for Dembele, couldn't quite find him. Now Barcelona looking under pressure. Of course, the second half now, 46 minutes in. It is Barcelona 1, Paris Saint-Germain 1 in Paris, but on aggregate it is 5-2. And for Barcelona, another 44 minutes, 45 minutes to go, plus the added time. And then if they do manage to score 3 goals in this game, 3 more goals, and keep Paris Saint-Germain out, the game will go to extra time and potentially penalties, depending on the score in extra time. Frenkie de Jong here, bombing forward, finds Dembele on the right, got Griezmann with him on the left. Dembele skips past Kimpembe, but not past Marquinhos. Gets it back, though. Flicks it on for Dest, now faced by Abdou Diallo. Of course, a bit faster than Levon Kurzawa, in some aspects a bit more physical, a bit more technically skilled. And a fresh injection from Mauricio Pochettino here as the second half starts.
Yeah, we also have to remember that actually Kurzawa was the one that committed the penalty against, on Griezmann. So that is another aspect to take into consideration.
That is very true. Of course, the penalty was the one that was saved by Keylor Navas to deny Barcelona the lead in Paris. Of course, that goal would have meant that it was 5-3 in aggregate going into halftime, leaving them with only 2 more goals to be scored before the game would go to extra time. As things stand, though, they still need 3 more, and they must not let Paris score another one. And as things stand, not too many changes from either side in terms of lineups, in terms of tactics. Barcelona do look a bit more, shall we say, chaotic, or a bit more, not lax, but a bit more scared the second half. They look a bit less composed, you could argue at least. And they will be looking to regain control here, passing it around the back. Here's De Jong, pressed by Mauro Icardi, looks to skip past him. Opts for Messi instead, who's dropped into his own half here. Finds Dest on the side by the sidelines, and that one is picked up by Firpo, but only as far as to go for a throw-in for the French side.
It seems as if Paris have begun their attempt of, I wouldn't want to say park the bus, but at least to be much more compact from the midfield up, because you can see that they're playing in about 20 yards, their whole team. Their defense is high up. They want to have high pressure.
That is a very good point. And as you say that, they are looking to get a counterattack here. Diallo, Dest claimed he was fouled. Anthony Taylor disagreed. And here's Mbappe on the run, drives forward, looks for Verratti. Verratti slides, but can't quite get to it. Now, Pedri and Busquets combining. Here's Messi on the right, immediately met by Diallo. Finds Verratti, who got pocket picked by Pedri. Now Griezmann and Messi combining, and Paredes with a challenge on Messi, and that is going to be a yellow card. See here, in Barcelona's favor, it is going to be a yellow card. It seems for the Argentine midfielder. Actually, it is going to be for Sagana Gay as well for the initial foul that was played advantage on. And then afterwards, Nando Paredes fouled Messi, but it was for the initial foul with Sagana Gay on Antoine Griezmann. And the loose ball attempted to be picked up by Leo Messi, fouled by Leandro Paredes. The latter does not get a yellow card for the follow-up challenge, but Idrissa Gana Gueye does. And as things stand, not really much to be said when it comes to the foul department. No red cards yet. No player really in danger of missing the next game in the Champions League if their respective team advances. Let's just see how the game goes on here. Ter Stegen looking to build play up. Here's Pedri. Busquets playing it around the back here.
We have a message on the chat, Omar. We need a little bit more excitement.
I saw that, and I guess we'll do our best. But thank you for the compliment nonetheless. We'll see. We'll have to try and inject that. Here's Messi combining with Dembele. Dembele out to Alba on the left-hand side. Looks behind him. Finds Messi, met by Paredes, but Messi found Alba nonetheless. Here's Pedri. Looks for options. Finds Messi on the left-hand side now. Won't give a go with Alba, and Draxler blocks it off, but only momentarily. Here's Longley. And De Jong now pressured by the Paris Saint-Germain players. So is Busquets, but Barcelona play their way out of it. Here's Pedri. Left-hand side here finds Alba, looked for a cross, couldn't find it, now found Messi instead. Messi met by 3, goes backwards. Now here's Busquets. Back to Messi. Brilliant ball for Griezmann. Dembele brilliantly got away from Saint-Germain's defense, but couldn't quite find his compatriot. Here's Kylian Mbappe down the wing. Griezmann picks it up. And now Firpo, Busquets on the right. Brilliant ball for Dembele, but faced by Diallo and by Presnel Kimpembe. Got options next to him. Goes backwards for Busquets. Inside for Griezmann. It's going to be a foul. No. Advantage played. And Diallo clears. Barcelona back on the ball, but in their own half. Frenkie de Jong.
We really have to see what Barcelona expects of this second half. We can see Dembele really wants to have the ball at his feet. Griezmann also is working really hard, as you said, creating spaces. Messi has to show a little bit more, or more clinical, let's say, at the moment of making decisions. But we'll have to see. I mean, everything is possible right now.
For sure. As you say here, the comment from Cyber VTech, who was urging us to be more, to show more excitement, says, use more adjectives like magisterial and such. Of course, my good friend Ray Hudson, known for that particular adjective, but we will be doing our best to show a bit more of a lively repertoire of words here. Griezmann on the ball now. Pedri, brilliant ball for Ousmane Dembele, left-hand side. Might look for the shot here. Look for the cross instead. Diallo just about got to it. Faced by Dest. Dest battles with Diallo. The latter clears only as far as Firpo. And Barcelona now putting Paris Saint-Germain under pressure again. Now seem to be more in control and seem to be more for the Barcelona that we saw in the first half.
Yeah, really good build-up plays right now. Having spaces, good passes for those spaces and for the right players. But as we said before, a little bit more clinical, or we've been just unlucky at the moment of having to shoot at goal. We'll have to see what happens and see if really Griezmann can tune that part, and also Dembele.
For sure, and as we say that here, Barcelona on the attack once more. Firpo to Messi, inside for Pedri, back heels it towards a teammate. Draxler came in, barged in trying to get to the ball, couldn't quite get to it, claims he was fouled. Anthony Taylor wanted none of it. Here's Griezmann, now Pedri. And Pedri has been extremely composed today, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been having some really good balls, really good passes, also pressing really high. Good overall performance so far.
Definitely has been, and has been key to Barcelona's, shall we say, dynamic movement in that midfield. Brought in a lot of energy and brought in a very big shift for the Catalans this season so far. Actually, one of the players that has had a lot of playing time so far. And as we look into Paris Saint-Germain's side here, Leandro Paredes with a yellow card, which means that he will actually miss their next encounter in the Champions League this season, should they go through to the quarterfinals. And as things stand, they are close. Barcelona want to have their say. So we are around 55 minutes in. What do you make of the second half so far?
I feel it's been basically the same as the first half. We'll have to see if Barcelona can actually crank it up a notch. And I feel that it's been a little bit cagey from part of Paris Saint-Germain, but we'll have to see what Barcelona can bring up to the challenge right now.
For sure. And when you look at the way Barcelona have been playing the second half, it definitely seems like they're doing everything right except for that final through ball or the final pass, and the final ball, really. That's something they will want to change if they do want to get the 3 goals to even things out.
And even Paris has had their game plan really, really clear this entire second half. Counterattacks, fast transitions, or try to intercept passes. That's what they're playing right now. Barcelona really have to understand what they're facing and what they have to do to counter that.
For sure, and as you say that here, Alba on the run, looked for Dembele, the ball just about got to him, now pushed backwards by Marquinhos, leaving a gap in defense, covered up But now Paris Saint-Germain on the attack. Here's Kylian Mbappe on the left-hand side. Got Icardi with him. Looked to go solo. Griezmann had other ideas. Virtually pushed him to the ground, although legally. And Anthony Taylor says play on.
Those are the kind of things that really make you question what Griezmann has been doing in Barcelona. I mean, he doesn't do that much up front, but at least defensively and physically, you can see that he runs and he likes to really have that commitment with the team.
Definitely, and that's one of the things that has, of course, that thing has meant that he has garnered a lot of praise from a lot of Barcelona fans. Although many of them have been left wondering why he is signed if he's not scoring the goals or supplying the assists that maybe a striker or an attacker of his caliber should be able to, especially given the hefty price tag that was put on him, of course, when he joined from Atleti. But, of course, looking at it, as you said, he does bring a lot to the team. He's been very influential defensively. He's been really good at creating space for his teammates, and he's slowly getting a very good connection with his attacking partners, I would say, Lionel Messi, Ousmane Dembele, whom he knows from the national team. And, of course, that's also a thing that does mean a lot for Barcelona defensively, that they do have a player like that does like to drop back and help defend and help build up play. But as you were saying earlier when we were talking at halftime, they are lacking a number 9 to finish off the chances because Dembele really thrives in a lot of space, but he's not a number 9 and he has not been as clinical as he maybe should have been. And due to that, Barcelona see themselves only with a 1-1 draw here as things stand. That's with the ball here for Dembele. Now, Pedri looked for a pass, didn't look up enough, but it is called back.
And as we look at the bench of Barcelona, at least at the attacking players, we have Trincao, Conrad de la Fuente, and Martin Braithwaite basically are the main options for Barcelona right now. So I don't know if Braithwaite or Trincao would be the correct players to come on right now, but definitely something to keep mind and eye on to see if they can provide that extra width and dimension that Barcelona are lacking at the moment for the attack.
For sure, and as we mentioned that, 2 substitutions from Paris Saint-Germain, Julian Draxler off for Angel Di Maria, who missed the first encounter between these two sides, but this time is playing, of course, recently returned, and he'll be bringing in a fresh injection of pace for
and also
energy for the front side. And yes, Danilo Pereira also coming on for Idrissa Gana Gueye, which means that Paris Saint-Germain's lineup as things stand is the following. Let's see here. Navas in goal, Alessandro Florenzi, Marquinhos, Presnel Kimpembe, and Danilo Pereira in defense. Abdou Diallo in defense. Leandro Paredes and Danilo Pereira alongside Marco Verratti in midfield. Angel Di Maria, Mauro Icardi, and Kylian Mbappe up front for Barcelona. Ter Stegen starts in goal, or has been in goal. Firpo, De Jong, and Langley in a 3-man defense. Serginho Dest and Jordi Alba out wide. Pedri and Busquets in midfield. Ousmane Dembele, Leo Messi, and Antoine Griezmann up front. And as you said, a lot of interesting names for Barcelona on the bench. Miralem Pjanic, Juan Braithwaite, Riqui Puig, Trincao. Some of the names, Ilaix Moriba and Conrad de la Fuente, of course, some of the youngsters. For Paris Saint-Germain, former Barcelona man, Rafinha, defender Thilo Kehrer, Pablo Sarabia, the former Sevilla man, Ander Herrera. Of course, also players that can bring a very fresh injection into this team. And,
Messi with a great run right now, actually, with Griezmann. Let's see if they can connect.
Griezmann here out wide for Alba. Pings it in. Messi with a shot, just blocked. Can you get it back, though? He's trying. Griezmann looked for the shot, couldn't quite find it, and it's just they met an absolute brick wall of players in navy blue. Couldn't quite make it happen, but definitely unlucky. Great defense there, though, by Marquinhos. Great perseverance by him and Presnel Kimpembe to deny Leo Messi and then deny Antoine Griezmann. Keylor Navas, as we see on the replay, was sent the wrong way, so had Marquinhos not blocked that one, that would have been a goal. You would have to imagine, at least, unless Navas would have pulled off another Amazing save. But Barcelona knocking on the door, 61 minutes in, half an hour to go. There was a check for through VAR for a penalty, but it was not given. And play on, says the referee, Anthony Taylor. Here's Alba combining with Dembele. Alba now. Paredes, it seems, fell down as Alba was trying to get past him. Referee says play on. Here's Messi.
Absolutely incredible play by Marquinhos, going back a little bit. Absolutely incredible. He did everything he could, and he prevented probably a very very easy goal for Messi in front of Keylor Navas.
Yeah, it could have been a very crucial goal as well to help Barcelona get back into this tie. As Alba here breaks forward, combines with Dembele, but the Frenchman's pass couldn't quite find Alba. Now by Saint-Germain on the break. Here's Icardi. Danilo, now Diallo on the left-hand side, faced by Dest, unfazed by Dest.
It seems as if Barcelona has become... Oh, sorry. It seems as if Barcelona are looking now more aggressive at the moment of attacking, and they are starting to understand the time is on them. And Pochettino is looking to create a very solid block of midfield, as we see how Paredes hit actually the ref with that ball.
Yes, he did. And the ball, of course, now back in play, this time by Barcelona. Now here's Alba. Barcelona, as you said, looking more aggressive, playing with more intent and not taking things slowly anymore. Messi with a cross in towards Alba, but picked up by Keylor Navas with ease. And 63 minutes in, roughly. It is still 5-2 on aggregate. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Barcelona 1 in Paris. It goes by Kylian Mbappe on a penalty and a long shot stunner by Leo Messi to tie things up, although he couldn't convert the following penalty that was given for a foul by Levan Kurzawa on Antoine Griezmann, heroically saved and denied by Keylor Navas. And due to that, Paris Saint-Germain still in a lead with a cushion, not really rushing too much, but they know that a goal here could kill Barcelona off. Here's Icardi now look to combine with Mbappe. The Frenchman saw his pass blocked off as Barcelona looked to go for a quick counterattack there towards Dembele, but Kimpembe picked it up and back to base. Now here's Danilo combining with Leandro Paredes on the left. A lot of space, a lot of real estate here for Paris. Here's Verratti, Di Maria, who's playing as a linking player between the strikers and the midfield, somewhat of a 10 role, the one that otherwise would be occupied by a Neymar, you'd like to imagine. The Brazilian, of course, a former Barcelona man, not available today. And Di Maria with a brilliant ball there, threw it towards Kylian Mbappe. Couldn't quite make it happen, though. And now Busquets finds Alba on the left. Alba assesses his options, looks for Griezmann. And drops back now into Firpo on the right-hand side. And Barcelona looking to not rush things, but at the same time not take things too slowly, because they know that as things stand, Paris Saint-Germain will be through to the quarterfinals. And, of course, for Barcelona, a lot is at stake here, of course, both reputation-wise, but also the fact that teams like Juventus and teams like Real Madrid are not going through. Atleti, of course, before tonight were 2-0 down to Chelsea. So very, very interesting encounters for Barcelona would be ahead, and you'd have to imagine the same for Paris Saint-Germain, that the road ahead could be easier.
What a play by Pedri, getting off three-man coverage and opening the space.
Brilliant silhouette turn there by the youngster. Now Barcelona combining on the right-hand side. Busquets looked for Griezmann on the right, but the pass just a bit too heavy. And 65 minutes in, still 1-1. And looking at the lineups here, no changes really. The badge for the referee fell off there during as they were playing on, as he collided with Messi or Pedri. And Alba helped him get it back up. Now a substitution for Barcelona, or rather, shall we say, another substitution by Barcelona. Serginho Dest off for Francisco Trincao. And that's definitely an attacking one, you'd have to think. What do you think?
Yeah, completely logical. I mean, 65th minute, and you're down 3 goals. I mean, you have to become aggressive right now. You have to do something, mix the pot, do something to give your players an extra motivation. I've really liked what Barcelona have shown, even though it's been a really difficult match for them. They've created the chances. They haven't been lacking what a few other games they've been lacking. Right now, the striker position is basically vacant, but other than that, they actually have been generating and putting pressure on Paris. But let's see.
For sure. And we'll have to see here how things go for Barcelona. Of course, Lionel Messi currently seems to be down after an altercation with Abdou Diallo, who put his arm out a bit too, shall we say, a bit on the illegal side of things, and currently seems to be reviewed. Barcelona play on here. Barcelona now playing on. They try to build something up. Here's Firpo. Now, Pedri. Long lay pushed up. Here is Alba. Now on the ball. Right hand side, Messi. Looks to create something out of nothing. Skips past Diallo. Looks for the cross. And it sails over the goal, over the frame of the goal. And it does go out for a goal kick for Keylor Navas and his side. 67 minutes in, the lineups as things stand here, as we'll take a look. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen in goal, Junior Firpo, Frankie de Jong, and Clement Longley in a three-man back line. Trincao and Alba playing out wide with Pedri and Busquets in midfield. Dembele, Messi, and Antoine Griezmann up front. 67 minutes in, roughly 68. And, of course, been a very interesting game and a very fiery one, but do you think Barcelona can still get back, or is it getting to the point where it may be a bit too late?
I think it's becoming getting to that critical point where it's do or die for Barcelona. Well, it certainly has been since the beginning of the match, but right now the time has really become a factor, or is becoming a real factor for the Barcelona players. Nevertheless, as I said before, I've liked what I've seen so far from Barcelona, even though we're clearly down. But we'll have to see. I mean, we've seen big comebacks in less than 10 minutes sometimes in football. So we still have to keep our heads up and see what may happen.
For sure. I mean, looking at it, it's not necessarily over just yet for Barcelona. They still do have a lot to play for. And but although you could say that giving the five-man substitution rule, it is very hard to imagine that that Paris will tire out just yet. 69 minutes in, roughly, and it's a Barcelona corner. We'll have to see what they can create here. Barcelona here ready to take their corner, ready to try and make things happen. We'll have to see what they can do. As always, do remember that you are able to leave us your comments and thoughts down below in the live chat, and you can let us know how you think the game is going and whether Barcelona still have a chance. CyberVTech007 here on Twitter, where this stream here is also being transmitted, as well as our YouTube channel, Blaugranagram TV, and our Facebook page. Says it's over too bad. We'll have to see if it is, and of course, around 20 minutes to go, and you have to think that we are reaching a point where it definitely seems like it is game over for Barcelona. By Saint-Germain, 70 minutes in, have done enough to keep Barcelona at bay and keep them away from goal. And the times that they have attacked, they haven't been able to do too much with it. Of course, Ousmane Dembele, a couple of very interesting chances, couldn't quite convert them. In placing behind Keylor Navas. We'll have to see what happens here. So, Joav, with everything considered now, of course, we are around 70 minutes in, 72 minutes in. If you had to make a substitution or two, who would you put in?
As things stand, I would think I would bring on well, at the end of the day, Braithwaite is your number 9,
Yeah,
even though if you're Barcelona. So I think I would bring him on and take off Griezmann and maybe tell Messi to drop a little bit deeper and serve those balls to or those passes actually to both Braithwaite and Dembele. And well, I don't know. If you really want to risk it, maybe bring on Conrad de la Fuente or another one of those explosive players that can actually do something different to what the players on the pitch have been doing.
for
But
sure.
those right now are just what I would think could do.
I think that's a very interesting point. I also think players like Ilaix Moriba definitely could prove to make a difference. Even players like Riqui Puig, of course, which a lot of Barcelona fans will be calling for due to what he does at in midfield. But as things stand, the lineups remain the same.
And right now, Trincao actually is really helping through the right side of the pitch. Alba actually missed one very important potential goal that could have scored at the first post of Keylor Navas, but decided to bring it back to Messi. Right
He
now,
did.
is competing with Verratti and actually gave the ball away to Icardi. Icardi slides, but De Jong took it away.
He did. And here, as you can see, De Jong finds Pedri. And Barcelona now looking to attack. Of course, in other news, Liverpool pretty much have secured qualification to the quarterfinals with a 4-0 aggregate lead against Red Bull Leipzig. 2-0 currently, the second goal scored by Sadio Mane. Liverpool, of course, another potential opponent for Barcelona or for Paris Saint-Germain, as well as teams like Chelsea or Atleti, whoever advances in that tie. But Porto, also a team that has definitely surprised the masses after their very impressive performance against Juventus last night, going through on aggregate.
This is a really good chance for Barcelona right now. I mean, if Messi can actually make a good cross, or I don't know if a shot
This
because
free kick, yes.
tight angle, but if Barcelona can actually do something here, we can see a turning point for the Catalans.
For sure, here Messi on the left-hand side with a free kick on the edge of the box. In-swinger in towards Firpo. The latter couldn't quite get to it as Trincao tried a long shot, saw it blocked by the French defense. And now Mbappe looked to start a quick counterattack, slid, but then got back up now on the ball. Looked for the Hollywood ball, couldn't quite find it, had to go back. Firpo with a lot of pressure. Now Firpo on the left-hand side now. Trincao on the right. The defense now. Firpo is actually pushed up. Looks like more of a 4-man back line, but Firpo now is back on the right-hand side. Defense has pushed up quite a lot, though. Here's Messi up against Paris defense. You're brilliant ball for Alba. Good cross, just went wide. And still past everyone, including Ousmane Dembele. That could have been the one that gives Barcelona a lifeline. Instead, they're kicking themselves here. Danilo just put enough pressure on Ousmane Dembele, who's claiming that at least there should be a foul. Anthony Taylor wanted to hear none of it. And as things stand, 74 minutes in, Paris Saint-Germain 1, Barcelona 1 in Paris. However, it's 5-2 on aggregate.
What a good volley by Trincao, but Danilo was right there to make that.
Brilliant. So, and as you said, Danilo Pereira with a great block there. Seems like, though, on the replay, of course, very speculatively spoken, but it seems like that was heading towards Sergio Busquets. So maybe if Danilo hadn't got to that, Busquets would have, although not in the way he would have hoped for. Another substitution here from Paris Saint-Germain.
Florenzi looked
one
like
of their players down.
Substitution. Alexandro Florenzi coming off and Colin Dagba coming in. Now, going back a little bit, Omar, do you think that was actually a foul on Dembele in that last play?
I think that if that one was called, it would be very similar to the one that we saw earlier on, the one that actually was called for against Clement Lenglet, the Kylian Mbappe scored from. Of course, one of the players warming up currently, the former Barcelona man, Rafinha. So that's going to be interesting to see if he does make it onto the pitch, which Paris Saint-Germain do have enough substitutions to make that happen. And given their resounding lead with a 3-goal cushion, would not be surprising to see Pochettino giving some of the reserves a bit of an outing. But yes, I think that if that was called, it would be a very, very soft call, to be completely honest with you.
50 minutes ago, plus aggregate. Let's see what Barcelona can make happen right now, or let's see if they can create something, at least another goal to add to that impressive statistics of shots that they have given on this match.
If you look at the game after the game, we'll of course look at some of the statistics.
Oh, what a good
Barcelona have definitely been in control. Great play here. Alba sent through. Look for the cross. Marquinhos denied Dembele. It goes on to Keylor Navas, who has to punch it out. And Di Maria now tracking back. Looks to send Trincao the wrong way and does. Now by Saint-Germain looking to attack. And they do so brilliantly. Here's Di Maria inside. And that ball from Diallo. Searching ball towards Icardi. Couldn't quite find him, though. Here's Griezmann, who's dropped deeper to help build the play. Now Firpo on the right finds Messi, who's pretty much in line with the defense at this point, trying to build play, as you were talking about earlier, Joav. Here's Alba now for Dembele, and it's called back for offside. 77 minutes in, Barcelona still with changes in hand, should they want to make them.
Oh, here comes
the man with players warming up.
now.
And 3 changes for Barcelona. Elias Moriba, Martin Braithwaite, Danish forward, and the Bosnian midfielder Miralem Pjanic. A 3-way substitution for the Catalans. Maybe too little, too late, but we'll have to wait and see. 78 minutes in, Catalans have made their changes. Martin Braithwaite off for Ousmane Dembele. Elias Moriba, of course, with a recent emergence onto the scene. Pedri off for Miralem Pjanic. And Elias Moriba for Sergio Busquets. So for Barcelona, that is 5 changes. They have made all their changes. The lineup right now, Ter Stegen in goal, Firpo, De Jong and Longley in defense, Trincao and Jordi Alba out wide, Pjanic and Elias Moriba in midfield, Martin Braithwaite, Leo Messi, and Antoine Griezmann up front as Ter Stegen completely sends Icardi the wrong way there as he skips past him. Firpo now inside for Elias, faced by Mbappe. Mbappe gains ground, gains possession, but Griezmann says no. Elias gets his revenge on Mbappe, finds Longley, buys Paris with a lot of pressure here. De Jong drives forward, leaves it for Alba, goes on a run, so does Martin Braithwaite, but none of them to be found by Alba there at least. And a diagonal switch for Junior Firpo, who, to his credit, has looked very confident in that 3-man back line. Hasn't really allowed too much to happen from Paris side at least, and has looked very, very confident, very composed on the ball. What do you make of his outing so far, Joav?
He has been really composed, as you say. He hasn't really shown that those kind of plays that made him questionable for Barcelona fans. He's been really solid so far defensively. Offensively, he hasn't done that much, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's a defender, and defenders first and foremost defend, not the attack. That's a plus, but he has been had a really good few minutes right here, and 10 minutes to go. And I know we kid a lot about Braithwaite being our number 9 and everything, but if he were to score one goal right now, it would mean a lot for, I think, every Barcelona fan.
And I do think a lot of Barcelona fans do talk about Braithwaite, whether in a joking way or negatively. Personally, I think one of the things that does set him apart is he has quality in him, and he is a fighter. His mentality is absolutely second to none, as he's shown multiple times, and he's one of those players that you would not typically associate with Barcelona due to his style of play. But he's definitely, when he's out there, he is playing for the badge, and I'm sure that's something that the Catalan club and the players appreciated. With Ansu Fati even previously having said that Braithwaite is the most serious player on that team. When asked in a Barcelona Barcelona video once upon a time.
Great
play there by Alba and Messi and Griezmann. Griezmann brilliantly looks to find a teammate there. Finds Trincao on the right. Trincao back to the Frenchman. Sees space for Alba. Great ball on the left-hand side. Cut back for Messi. Met by a brick wall of Paris players. Let's see what he does here. Brilliantly outside of the foot to Elias. Here's Griezmann. Great ball again towards Alba, but this time read by Colin Dagba. And it is clear. It is really good tackle there from Dagba. And it is going to be a throw-in for Paris. Neymar there looking on. Whether that's excitement or some other sort of feeling is hard to guess, but definitely looking emotional.
I would say
there on the bench.
Expect the feelings. At the end of the day, one of his best friends from football football would be Messi and Luis Suarez, both really good team players of Barcelona of his. So I would say it's a mixed feeling, a mixed bag of feeling.
Mbappe here on the right finds Icardi. Icardi with a shot. Enough pressure put on him by Frenkie de Jong, and it goes over the bar. Does not trouble Ter Stegen at all. And that's the thing as well. I think Barcelona will definitely be feeling like they definitely could have had more from this game, because it hasn't been one of those games where they've been dominated. Actually, it's been quite the opposite.
Yeah, I mean, Barcelona have produced a lot.
Brilliant ball by Elias to Trincao there. Sorry to cut you off. But that one, Trincao couldn't quite control it, and it does go out for a goal kick. Go on, Joav. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say they have produced a lot, but we have to take into consideration the position in which this game started. Barcelona had to really look for the game, and at the end, also the defenders of Paris are big and physical, and possibly the attack of Barcelona has lacked a little bit of that. Speaking hypothetically, had Messi scored his penalty and maybe Dembélé scored one more goal of all those chances he had, we'd have been talking about a very different game at the end at the end.
And a substitution here by Saint-Germain. Rafinha comes on for Marco Verratti. Of course, Leandro Paredes, the one that will miss the next match, so it doesn't really matter too much. But he is the one on a yellow card. I believe Verratti was as well. So it is more than anything a precaution taken by Mauricio Pochettino, but also a substitution taken to give Rafinha some playing time, which he hasn't seen an awful lot of since his switch to France. But he is now on in a very interesting midfield and attacking line from Paris, with Icardi, Mbappe, and Di Maria all in front of him. We'll have to see here if Barcelona can maybe get at least a consolation goal here in the dying embers of the match. 6 minutes to go in the 84th. Messi on the right-hand side here. Got Trincao with him. Finds him. Trincao looks for the cutback. Elias backheels it on to Busquets, to Pjanic there. And Griezmann gets the layoff, but swings it over the bar. Really good play by Barcelona. And again, this will definitely be one of those games where they'll look back at it and go, well, we should not have lost. That should not have been a 5-2 aggregate loss. As you see there, of course, Mauricio Pochettino took over not too long ago, having been a free agent since leaving Tottenham Hotspur. The North London side, of course, taken over by Jose Mourinho since his departure. But Pochettino has definitely hit the ground running with Paris and slowly getting to put his mark on this Paris team. Here's Pjanic in the middle, driving forward. Couldn't really find any options. Went to Elias instead. Looked for a pass. Blocked off by Danilo. Here is Di Maria. Driving forward. Finds Icardi. Now Mbappe. Slowing down the play a bit. Danilo again. Here's Diallo. Now Kimpembe. And back to base. Keylor Navas. Pressured by Braithwaite, but unfazed by it. Goes long. Finds Di Maria. Now here's Diallo, who's been very lively since coming on, and a technically gifted player, has definitely shown it today. Here's Trincao. Now Messi on the left. Got Alba with him on the break. Griezmann inside with Trincao. Pjanic as well. opts for Trincao. Pjanic gets to that one, looks to find Alba. Maybe a bit too lax with that pass, and it's picked up by Paris. As Longley is sent the completely wrong way by Dagba there. Here's Marquinhos. Navas clears and lands for Alba. Gets a touch to it. Can't quite keep it though. Pjanic races back. Gets the better of Rafinha, but it will be a foul.
We also
Overall,
sorry, Omar. We also have to mention how solid Paris has been in this match. They allowed a few, well, specifically in this second half, they understood what they had to do, and they've basically nullified what Barcelona could have done.
Definitely. They've definitely, so to speak, they've found the kryptonite to Barcelona's play, and especially a Barcelona in good form, which they undoubtedly have been in, looking like a confident team, playing as a unit, and having that fighting spirit in them once again. And before this game, of course, Laporta was talking about how the team they would definitely put up a fight, and they definitely have been. They're not going to go back to Barcelona with with a bitter taste in their mouth in terms of whether they actually did their best or not. But inevitably, looking at the scoreline and looking at the amount of shots they've had, which we will of course discuss briefly after the game, you can't help but think that they definitely should have buried a few of those goals. And had they done that, this picture would have been completely different. Di Maria on the break looks for Mbappe. The pass a bit too heavy. It's from Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Di Maria still a bit rusty coming back from injury, but nonetheless has managed to trouble the Catalan defense, consisting of Firpo, Longley, and Frenkie de Jong. Very unorthodox lineup in that three-man back line. Of course, Ronald Koeman has been experimenting a bit, gone from the traditional 4-3-3 to his preferred 4-2-3-1, and when that didn't work, has gone a bit back and forth to the 4-3-3, and now deploying a 3-5-2 that has worked really well against a couple of sides now, and against Sevilla that have previously troubled Barcelona a lot. And a yellow card there for Icardi as he stopped De Jong on the break. Here's Messi, Pjanic. Now Alba on the left. Looks for a cross towards Griezmann, but it's cleared out by Presnel Kimpembe. Pjanic now on the left, chasing it. Gets it to Clement Longley. Here's De Jong with Paredes covering him and can't quite make the pass. Rafinha blocks it out. And again, 89 minutes in, seems like it pretty much is game over for Barcelona. It is 1-1 in Paris, 5-2 on aggregate. The goals tonight, scored by Kylian Mbappe on a penalty and a long shot stunner by Leo Messi to tie things up in the French capital. But it won't be enough, and Barcelona still have to score 3 goals to take this tie to extra time. They have 1 minute plus added time to do so. Trincao looking to make something out of nothing here. On the right-hand side, faced by 3 defenders, goes back to Firpo. Now Ilaish. Pjanic looks to find Firpo in space, but the Paris defenders got on top of each other but blocked it out. Now Icardi. Here's Mbappe on the break. Up against Clement Longley. Sends Longley the wrong way. Finishes it, but it goes over the bar and out. And he would be kicking himself, but then again, got a hat-trick last time out and scored the goal that gave them the lead here tonight. So all in all, not a bad tie for Kylian Mbappe, you have to say, but tonight Barcelona have definitely been able to contain him much better than last time out. What do you make of that, Joav?
We have to really praise the defense. In comparison to the Mbappe from the first time, this is completely a different Mbappe. At first, Mingueza really was physical with him and didn't allow him to do basically anything. And right now, with a really good surprise, Junior Firpo has been able to keep up with him. And except for the goal, I just can remember just a few, maybe 2-3 shots, but neither one of them were actually troublesome.
Except for the penalty, of course.
Yes. But I mean, what maybe Barcelona lacked a few games before, defensive unit, they showed a really good unit today, especially with one so hold without Piqué and Araujo.
Definitely, and as we say that here, looking to create something, Alba with a cross, but Rafinha picked that one out with ease. Now Colin Dagba looking to combine with Rafinha and does. Former Barcelona man looking to try and put on a bit of a show, or at least show Barcelona why they should not have sold him. And 3 minutes of added time almost up, 1 minute and a half more or less into it, and Barcelona do get a corner, much to Colin Dagba's discontent. But Anthony Taylor, unfazed by the youngsters' comments. Barcelona here going short. Messi with a cross. The header by Firpo, but Barcelona claiming that one should have been another corner. Referee said no, and with 1 minute and 20 seconds left, Barcelona are not going to score 3 goals, and it is game over. But considering the way they've been playing tonight, and considering how Paris have been containing them, it is one of those ties where Barcelona at least will be proud of their second leg performance, or what?
I think they should be proud to some degree. At least we should understand that all that surrounds Barcelona has surrounded Barcelona for the past few months have really taken a toll on the team at the end of the day. Ronald Koeman has done his best to try to make this team into a very competitive team, has made experiments, failed, try error, but at the end of the day, I think he's really making a team that can be he could be proud of. They fought today. They were we were unlucky at ahead of goal, but we'll see. I mean, Barcelona, as I said before, came back in La Copa del Rey at least 3 times, and maybe that's the one competition they should focus on alongside La Liga. But we'll have to see. I mean, Messi also has a big decision to make going in his future, so it's a lot of uncertainty. The game is over.
As we cited reports on Blaugranagram, of course, the new president of Barcelona, the new familiar face, Juan Laporta, will be talking to Leo Messi, according to reports after the game here today. We'll have to see whether he can convince him to stay or whether Messi sees his future lying elsewhere. Of course, Neymar, Di Maria, and Leandro Paredes, some of his good friends in France, but also his very close friend, at least once upon a time, and probably still, Pep Guardiola in Manchester City, 2 clubs with financial strength. And Mauricio Pochettino, of course, has shown his admiration towards the Argentine footballer. So if Messi does decide to look for a way out again this time, will not be blocked by Jose Bartomeu, as was the case earlier. And he probably will not have a problem in finding suitors to take him elsewhere. The question is whether he can be convinced to stay. As you said, Ronald Koeman, of course, trying to do something with this team and has been experimenting very well. And it will be interesting to see what they can achieve here. Of course, the Champions League, now the Barcelona journey is over as things stand. An aggregate loss of 5-2. And this game won a 1-1 tie, or a 1-1 draw here, as we see Pedri and Kylian Mbappe exchanging shirts at the end of the match. And to end it on a good note, or on somewhat of a good note, we look at the comment here by CyberVTech 007, who has been a very avid follower here tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. We hope we'll see you in the upcoming games. Of course, do remember we do cover every single game on Blaugranagram.com and on here. And of course, if there are exceptions, we will be announcing those in due time. He says, who do you think will be in the final? Joav, who do you think will be in the final?
I don't know. It's been a very weird season so far for a lot of teams. I mean, Bayern Munich, as you said, steamrolled over basically every single team on the last Champions League. But this season have lost to a few teams in La Bundesliga that haven't been at their top football. So we'll have to see. I would say that Bayern Munich is basically a contender to the title. They're motivated and they know what it implies to be in the big stage. But also, it looks like Pep has finally got his team to win once again the Champions League away from Barcelona. I would say that either one of those could easily be a contender.
For sure, I think that's a very fair point to make. And of course, as we look at some of the other clubs, Liverpool through to the quarterfinals, after beating Red Bull Leipzig. And some other teams that could be quite interesting. Atleti, of course, having played against Athletic Club today with a 2-1 win on goals by Marcos Llorente and a familiar face in Luis Suarez. Um, Also, Atleti, of course, a team that definitely could be interesting and have been in decent form. Suarez slowly finding his role in that team. Marcos Llorente has been in excellent form. Angel Correa found a resurgence under Diego Simeone. And they are currently with a 1-0 deficit to Chelsea that they will face soon enough in the return fixture next week. And of course, those two sides also very interesting. I think, for me at least, I would imagine Bayern Munich definitely being in the final. By Saint-Germain, for me, I think have shown quality in terms of playing a certain style of football and a certain brand of football. But if they face teams like Bayern Munich, and if they face teams that can be more clinical in front of goal than Barcelona were tonight, I don't think they'll end up going to the final. But of course, you're talking about quarterfinal, then semifinal, then final. So it's not too many games to go. And of course, anything could happen. But I think Bayern is definitely one of the teams. And I think Liverpool stand a chance, but I think it will be difficult given their defensive troubles recently.
But also, you have to look into their domestic obligations. I mean, Liverpool clearly has to focus really on the Premier League, because if not, they could actually slip and not go into any European football competition next season. So I would believe
That's
that
very true.
Liverpool will actually try to win more games in the Premier and divert their attention from the Champions League. Also, I mean, as you said, Paris have shown really good quality, but also have been struggling a bit in La Liga. I mean, in the Ligue 1.
The Liga,
And
yes,
and also, well, Bayern, as we know, dominates Bundesliga. And if someone troubles them, they sometimes buy the key players, as the case of Upamecano this season. But we'll have to see. I mean, also City has a really comfy lead in the Premier League, which is something not that usual anymore. So
that's a good point. It's a
we'll
very
have
good
to
point.
see also, because how they react to having to play a lot of games, both in domestic and European football.
That's a very good point. Now, before we end off this live stream, let's take a look at some of the numbers. Crunch some numbers here for Barcelona and for by Saint Germain. The game, of course, ended 1-1. Goals by Kylian Mbappe and Leo Messi. The penalty by Kylian Mbappe brought Paris Saint-Germain the lead 30 minutes in, before Leo Messi responded with a long shot stunner merely 7 minutes after. The tie ended 5-2 on aggregate, and Paris Saint-Germain will thus advance to the quarterfinals of the Champions League this season. Looking at some of the numbers here, Barcelona only scored one goal. But if you haven't looked at the stats, can you guess how many shots they had?
Let's see, about 15, 17,
21.
20.
21 shots. 10 of
Oh,
them on target, and only one made it past Keylor Navas. For Paris Saint-Germain, 7 shots, 3 on target. One made it past Ter Stegen, but that was a penalty. The 2 others did not trouble him too much. And Barcelona with 73% possession with a 90% passing accuracy. Fun fact, that 90% passing accuracy has been very, very consistent in the past couple of games, between 89 and 90%. And something is going right for Barcelona. 3 yellow cards for Barca, 4 for Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, some of them did force the exit of Marco Verratti for precaution's sake. And for Paris, 79% passing accuracy in their 27% of possession. Again, as you said, they were playing this counter-attacking brand of football, and it worked against Barcelona. But with 21 shots from Barcelona, 21 shot attempts, they will be kicking themselves for not having converted more than just one, that 2 being the long shot from Lionel Messi. And, of course, for Barcelona, some testing times ahead as we look into their schedule. Next game, they will be taking a bit of a breather. It will be on Monday, March 15th at 9 p.m. Local time in Barcelona at the Camp Nou, where they will face Huesca. Then Real Sociedad, the Basque side, Antoine Griezmann's former side, the following Sunday, the 21st. Then Valladolid, and then El Clásico on April 11th, before they then have Athletic Club in the Copa del Rey final. Of course, Athletic Club, a team that has definitely caused them a lot of troubles this season due to their physicality and their fighting spirit. Of course, also playing a bit on the rough side, reminiscent of Atletico in 2013. where they had a very physical presence on the pitch, something that Athletic Club more have been doing more and more of. And of course, very testing times ahead for Barcelona, but against Huesca, a bit of a breather maybe.
Yeah, I think it would be the opportunity for Koeman to actually play those players that haven't got that much minutes, or the Ricky Puig, Ilaix Moriba, that have actually hit the ground running with the team.
Definitely.
I would think that would actually be the way to go, especially taking into consideration that as of now, the Champions League is off the table for Barcelona. They have to focus purely on La Liga. As you said, we just have to face the final of La Copa del Rey. But actually, it's right now is the moment to actually give a breather to those key players that have been playing a lot. De Jong, Busquets, probably Messi,
Mm-hmm.
um, Lenglet,
Pedri,
actually. Sure.
Pedri, you could argue as well. Of course, Pedri has had a lot of minutes this season, to the surprise of many. But after a while, it doesn't become much of a surprise. It becomes more of something you expect. And truth be told, he's definitely shown his worth, even against by Saint-Germain today. Of course, the reason that I said that Barcelona would have a bit of a breather against Huesca is that Huesca currently find themselves bottom of the table with 20 points in 26 games. Barcelona second, 6 points behind Atleti in first, and 2 points ahead of Real Madrid in third. Sevilla fourth, Real Sociedad fifth, and Real Sociedad the team that they will face after facing Huesca. So that game, a chance for Koeman to experiment and to rest some of his key players and players that have seen a lot of the ball this season. Maybe a chance to give players like Junior Firpo, who got an outing today and at least in many people's eyes did extremely well, to sort of have him get a chance in having a role in this Barcelona side that, without a doubt, does need squad depth. And of course, given the injuries of Ronald Araujo, Gerard Piqué, Sergio Roberto, definitely does allow for some of these players to get a chance and show Ronald Koeman and his staff that they are worth keeping on the block in the offseason as well.
Yeah, let's see what Koeman has in store for us. As you said, maybe a time to experiment, maybe completely do over for the starting 11. We'll have to see.
Maybe.
But right now, I have a question for you, Omar.
Go ahead.
Okay, so as of now, Mbappe has 6 goals in the Champions League, right?
Yes.
But Haaland has 10 goals in the Champions League. So for Barca next season, who would you go with?
I would definitely go for Erling Haaland if I was Barcelona, for sure. He's not going to be as expensive as Kylian Mbappe, and of course, Kylian Mbappe is one of those players that is rumored to be one of those that want to leave Paris Saint-Germain for a more prominent role in a certain position that he's not getting on the team. Maybe even just to try it for a new challenge elsewhere. But I think that he would come with a more expensive price tag, especially considering that Barcelona's relationship with Paris Saint-Germain is not the best, as we've seen with the Neymar case, and them trying to bring back Neymar in the summer. But I mean, looking everything considered, I think if Barcelona do have to go for a player, that player should be Erling Haaland up front because he is a pure number nine. He's definitely shown a lot of quality against teams like Bayern Munich and even against the smaller teams. He's not a player that gets complacent. He has a very solid mentality for a youngster, and he's definitely proving his worth.
Yep, let's call him for what he is. He's a monster.
He definitely is. And I'll have a question for you. If you had to bring one player to Barcelona, let's say Erling Haaland is off the table,
Okay.
defensive or midfielder, who would you bring in? And you guys in the comments can play along as well. Who would you bring into Barcelona if you had to pick one player that's not an attacking player?
I would think defensive player because let's face it, we have a good midfield. Busquets probably is aging. Well, he is aging. He isn't that fast player anymore. He maybe not be that insanely accurate player also, but we have a good foundation. We have the young, we have Pedri, we have Ilaix Moriba, we have Ricky Puig. We have a lot of players that could actually have a good impact and also in the future. But if you look to the defense, I mean, you have Umtiti that hasn't played that much and doesn't look to even care. You have Lenglet that has had a few ups and downs. Today he had a solid game, I think. The penalty
I
was
think so
not his
too.
fault at the end of the day.
I still
Um,
don't think that penalty should have been called, quite frankly. And I
no,
think a lot of people will agree. I think that was a very, very soft call. especially
So
considering that, as you said, it is Anthony Taylor. He is a referee well known with the Premier League, where football is a bit more physical and you do allow a bit more. The threshold is a bit higher for what you give fouls for and what you don't. So quite a dubious penalty given there, in my opinion.
yeah. So also, just going back really quick. So you have both Frenchmen. You have you have Piquet that also is older now. His physique isn't what it used to be. There's also rumors that he's retiring at the end of the season, so we have to look out for that. And also, you have Araujo and Mingueza, which are really good players so far, but at the end of the day, they're also youngsters.
For sure.
They need more experience. They need more minutes. They need high stake games like today. Of course, Mingueza was taken off. For those that couldn't see or didn't see it, Mingueza was taken off because of a yellow card on Mbappe really early on. But I would think
Replaced by
so.
Junior Firpo at the time.
Yep, replaced by Junior Firpo. So yeah, I would look more for a defensive player. I would say more maybe um, more like a Piqué kind of defender. I don't know. Piqués don't really grow anymore on trees like they used to. There are rumors of Jules Koundé. We'll have to see.
that I think Jules Koundé would be a very interesting player. I think I would also say Diego Carlos, but he seems like one of those players that just get too hot-headed too quickly sometimes, and still needs to gain more experience to avoid doing that, because otherwise he's an excellent defender.
To Sergio Ramos, let's say.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, we have to consider he isn't the youngest defender anymore. He's around, I think, 25, 26. So
Yeah.
I would look more for Jules Koundé probably. We'll have to see. I mean, also we can do a lot of wishful thinking here, but at the end of the day, the economical situation isn't the best at the club, and Laporta has to work his magic, let's say. So we'll see.
For sure.
We'll see what happens.
I think for Barcelona, undoubtedly the priority will be to see whether Messi stays or goes, and then based on that, plan the transfer market ahead. Because of course, if Messi does leave, and they can get a decent amount of money for him, that money will then go into reinvesting, potentially at least, in the signings that would then take place to replace a player like Leo Messi. Because Ousmane Dembele, of course, has shown glimpses of that he would be able to do that, but he just does not have the experience as much, and he's still slowly becoming the player that he wants to be. So that's also something that they will have to look out for, of course. And definitely interesting times ahead for Barcelona, and I think the defense would be where they would be where they will have to look to reinforce, especially considering the injuries, and if, as you said, Gerard Piqué either retires or takes on a less prominent role after the offseason this summer, they will have to look elsewhere for a defender. So very, very interesting times ahead. And on that note, I think that is all the time we have for tonight. Unless you have anything else to finish off with, Joav.
No, just maybe add, as you said, interesting times, time for renovation, times if Messi leaves, it opens a whole new world of possibilities for Barcelona. I'll be saddened to see him go away, but also at the same time, it's been how many years since he made his first goal and gave us so many good memories. So, I mean, if he decides to go on, I mean, I wouldn't take any. I would have just love for the man.
Yeah, I mean, he has been one of those players that definitely have. He's definitely put his mark on Barcelona, both as a city and as a club and a team. So he'll definitely be missed if he does leave. But of course, Juan Laporta's one of his objectives will be to retain him, as he has said when he was running for president. And we'll have to see if that can take place. With that said, we would like to thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this commentary. Of course, this does take place every match day. Next time will be on, if I'm not mistaken, on Monday when Barcelona take on Huesca. The game starts at 9 p.m. local time in Barcelona at the Camp Nou. We will be commentating here live, where Joav will be the commentator for that game. And of course, we also do commentate on our website on Blaugranagram.com, as we have been doing this game and as we will be doing for every match day. So if you are missing the match, or you'd like to feel that you're watching it as part of a community, feel free to tune in and leave your comments and thoughts. We will discuss them as the game goes on. On that note, thank you all for tuning in. It's much appreciated. Leave a like or subscribe or follow, depending on the platform you're on, if you did enjoy this. And on that note, we will see you next time. We hope you're staying sane, safe, and well. And Godspeed.
Thank you. Goodbye.